What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know how we sounded. 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 If y'all watched the Sunday chart analysis last night or the New York price watch list, the charts ended up going as projected. Me and the members ended up taking this GJ setup. Hit TP4 a couple times, didn't do the full move until last night. So we're looking for continued GJ buys. We're going to be looking for continued GU buys. But as you can see, price is just shooting up right now. So just got to wait for the retest. Just got to wait for the retest. We got a new 15 about to pop up in about 2 minutes. So right now the game plan is we're looking at gold buys, possible GJ buys, possible GU buys, and then we're looking at NAS100 NQ sales. That is the current game plan. Make sure to like the live. You'll hop up in here, subscribe if you have not already. We just hit 6,800 subscribers. Let's get to 6,900. Let's get to 6,900. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know if the music and audio sounds good. What's going on, Will? What's going on, Jordan? Sounding good? Perfect. What's going on, y'all? But yeah, GU and GJ took off without us, so we just gotta simply just wait for the next retest. That's all we gotta do. Just gotta wait for the next retest and entry point. New 15 just popped up. Let's see how these charts play out right here. Let's see, where's my alerts? I feel like I'm missing an alert. Let me add one. I don't know why there's not one right here, so let me just add one really quick. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see. So right here with GBPUSD 6B, we're either looking for price to retest 3630 or we're gonna look for a BCR at 3640 to see if we can hold this level as support right here. GJ, same thing. We're either gonna look for a price to retest 217.30 or 217.10. Then with gold, we're either looking for a price to retest 46.26 or we can BCR hold 46.52 as support. We can look for buys. Then on NAS100, we're about to look to see if we can get a BCR right here at 29.160. As far as news today, do we got news? Let's find out. We got an orange for the 10 a.m., but besides that, we just have Australian news later on tonight. So again, we're simply just waiting for volume and our confirmations to be met. What's going on, dude? How you feeling? Shit, I know you're probably gonna ask about Bitcoin. I know you're probably gonna cuss me out. I am going to get back posting on my stock and crypto channel. But I told y'all that crypto and Bitcoin ain't going nowhere. I don't know if y'all saw what Bitcoin did. It snuck off and did the past couple weeks. I haven't seen people talk about it, but that motherfucker hit 80K again. But how you feeling though? How I feel about gold? We're looking for buys still, right? Just like yesterday, gold did some nice buys. So I was looking for buys today as well. Just waiting for our entry. So we're going. We're looking for price to BCR this level right here or retest this level right here. But yeah, I'm looking for buys. Looking for buys. For sure, for sure. We're still in the uptrend. You already know me, uptrend, buy, downtrend, sell, right? We're still in the uptrend on gold. Still in the uptrend on gold. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Y'all see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screen. Instagram, playmaker_weight. TikTok, _playmakerweight_. Speaking of Instagram and TikTok, last week's winner, you have not DM'd me. I know you're here. I know the week just started. All right. But Alana, make sure to DM me. Alright, you be on the TikTok lives and you be on the YouTube lives, but I haven't seen you. Alright, now this week's raffle is the same exact rules, right? Except you need to comment price actual and Instagram and TikTok. Same thing. 1 comment is 1 vote. After that, every 3 comments is 1 vote. Do not spam comment. I can tell if you spam comment. So just to reiterate, because I know some of you are going to still try to sneakily do it. If you're commenting 20 comments in 1 minute, I know you did not watch the videos, all right? Make sure to watch the video, then comment, all right, y'all? But we're going to do the raffle on Friday just like we did last Friday. But yeah, gold's still in the uptrend, so we're still looking for buys nonetheless. Still looking for buys. Still looking for buys. Just waiting for our levels to get hit. Yeah, with NAS, we're either looking for price to retest 29,260. Or we're gonna look for BCR 29,160. And if y'all watched the New York price, watch this yesterday, literally off the 930 open. Literally off the 930 open, NAS100 fucking took a shit. Like that thing dumped right off the 9th. So hopefully nobody try to go for buys. This is why I tell you to go with the floor price with a bigger time frame. Alright, that thing took a dump. So hopefully y'all watch that video and then not try to buy NAS100 NQ on the New York open. Well, let me not say New York open, 9:30 open. New York's at 8 o'clock. 9:30 is when the stock exchange opens. All right, so let's put GU back up. Those just joined the stream, we have not entered anything yet. These are just trade ideas. We have not entered anything yet. New 15 just popped up. Alright, so again, this is why we wait for the BCR, because imagine we would have been like, oh shit, and went for a buy here. Alright, look how many times breakout trading again. You want to wait for the BCR every single time. Every single time. Yeah, so we're just waiting right now, yo. We're just waiting right now. Am I alive? Yeah, I'm alive. I couldn't be alive if I ain't start this live. I mean, if I couldn't, if I wasn't live, I couldn't have started this live. But I'm looking at NAS100. I'm not really looking at a US30. We could take a look at it really quick, but I'm not really trading that. But yeah, that's also why I'm not trading that. It's kind of in a retrace, but we're still in a downtrend. But depending on if it can respect 53,470 or not, will determine if the downtrend is going to continue or not. But yeah, I'm looking at NAS100 today. Looking at NAS100 today. It's just pushing a lot more smoother at the moment. But I'd still look for sales on US30. About to see if we're going to get some more volume kicking in this new hour. Again, this is why we don't breakout trade. Look at another loss, quote unquote fake out. All the shit you hear on the internet. Again, simply just rushing the setup. Alright, simply just rushing the setup. Let's see if we can get a BCR. If y'all got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we're looking at any charts, drop them in the chat. But you already know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting. Alright, new 15. Let's see if we can hold this level of support right here. Let's see if we can hold this level of support. It's a nice reaction right there. Again, if we hold this level of support, we're going to be looking for buys right here. Alright, let's see if we can hold this level of support right here. Everything else is kind of just chilling right now. Again, for those that joined late to the party, GJ took off, as we can see, so we're just waiting for a retracement and retest. Same thing with GU. Off the London Open, that thing exploded. So we're just waiting for a retest. Gold just did a retest right here, so we're about to look to see if we can hold this level of support. And then NAS has just been kind of chilling. So we're still looking for possible NAS sales here as well. So again, with NAS100, we're looking to see if we can get a BCR right here and hold 29,160 as resistance. And then we'll go over looking to see if we can maintain and hold this level of support right here. We might get some action soon. New 5-minute just popped up. We might get some action in a little bit. Might get some action in a little bit. Let's see if we can get a BCR right here. Let's see if we can get a BCR. That might show NQ, no problem. There's NQ right here. Well, this is NAS100, so the market structure is the same, but NQ is different prices, but the market structure is the same. Right, I trade Forex and futures, so I'm looking at the Forex chart, but it's the same market structure. So again, we're looking to see if gold can maintain this level of support, and then we're looking for a BCR or NAS100 to see if we can turn this level into resistance. Speaking of which, y'all, I'm gonna announce this later, but for those in the live, you're gonna know before everybody else. Starting next week / next month, I gotta check. Let me see. Let me pull up my calendar because y'all know I'm fucking terrible with days. Okay, so starting next month, still next week. Y'all been asking for years, alright? And well, I'm gonna say that y'all have been asking for years, but we also haven't done it in a minute. But starting next week, it's not going to be every day, but at least 2 to 3 times a week, we're going to be doing live streams, New York session, alright? For the playmakers, we're going to do a live streams, New York session. Now, the playback will be on YouTube, but to be in the live when it's going down, you gotta be a playmaker. So we're still gonna do the London session lives for everybody else, but the New York lives we're gonna be doing with the playmakers. Like I said, the playbacks will be available, but when it's going down, you gotta be either in advanced play signal room or you gotta be in Playmaker University, right? So we're gonna be doing it. It says every day, but it's not gonna be fucking every day. All right, it might be every day some weeks, but it's not gonna be every day every week, right? It's gonna be at least 3 times a week because I also have one-on-one sessions during New York session, so I gotta play around the members that got one-on-one sessions as well. But at least 3 times a week we're going to be live New York session. That's not 9:30, that's 8 a.m. All right. So again, the playbacks will be on YouTube for everybody else, but when it's going down and popping, you got to be a playmaker. All right. So you know what to do to become a playmaker. Got the links in the description. So again, we're looking for gold to maintain its level of support, and then we're looking for a BCR or NAS100 right here. GU is also retracing. So let's see if we can get a retest right here at 36.30. But again, that's why we do not breakout trade. Look how, oh my God, the fake out, the sellers. No, it's simply you're buying off resistance levels and selling off support levels. You see what I mean? Same thing with gold right here. Again, do not FOMO or breakout trade. Do not FOMO or breakout trade. So this thing's rejecting. So we're just gonna let this thing retrace. We're still looking for buys, but again, it's been pushing. Not only did it push all last week, but it pushed and made a new higher high. So we're gonna let that thing retrace, but we're still looking for buys nonetheless. Looks like GJ is about to try to retrace as well. So we might have some action this next hour. We're gonna see though. But like always, you don't see a setup between now and 6 a.m. Just wait for 8 o'clock, 9:30 open. Another example, I went wait for the BCR. Look how that was a red candle, now it's flipping. Again, just wait for the BCR. Do not break out trade. Do not break out trade. Yeah, those things are tracing, so we did make a higher high, so higher low comes after a higher high. But we got GU about to pause for retest right here, so we're about to see how GU reacts right here. We got a few potential setups. We just gotta wait. We got a few potential setups. We just gotta wait. Alright, G's rejecting hard too. Let's see what this next 5-minute looks like. New 5-minute just popped up. Yep. Like I said, it ain't gonna be every day because, like I said, I don't really be at my computer like that. But fuck it, why not? You know what I mean? Like I said, it's not gonna be every day. I'm gonna let y'all know ahead of time as well, like the day before, the night before, what the schedule's gonna be like for the week. And obviously, you know, if things change or if we add more days, I'll let y'all know. Got a new video dropping for y'all later on today on YouTube. And of course, you know, I got some new posts lined up for y'all on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Again, that's my only Instagram, my only TikTok. And for those that are still confused or don't know what my TikTok and Instagram is, I also linked it when I did the raffle. This is my only TikTok, my only Instagram. So if you're not talking to this TikTok or this Instagram, I'm sorry to tell you, you've been talking to a fake account. Some of y'all are in fake Telegrams. Again, if the links do not work, just DM me. Do not search Telegram. Do not search for Instagram or TikTok. Alright, only thing you can search and probably not get finessed off rip is the YouTube. There's fake Telegram accounts. You can look it up on Telegram right now. There's a bunch of fake accounts with like 100 subscribers, and you know, these fake Instagram and TikTok accounts that we're putting on Telegrams and Discords that aren't even in my name. Again, the only thing that is me is the links in here. Alright, on Telegram, or the links in the YouTube description. Alright, and if you want to, and I'd rather y'all hit me up and double check, like, hey, is this you I'm talking to? Because some of y'all be hitting me up trying to pick up a conversation that we never had. I'm like, bro, you was talking to a fake account. I'm like, that is not me. Well, that was not me. Like, there's one person was talking to a fake account. I was like, sorry, what was you saying? I was like, we wasn't saying shit. You was talking to a fake account. I was like, oh, okay. And then I got left on scene. I'm like, oh, damn. So you want to talk to a fake account, but you don't want to talk to the real deal? I'm like, that's crazy. How you going to leave the real account on scene, but you was talking to a fake? I don't know. But again, that's my only TikTok, Instagram account, y'all. Until I tell y'all otherwise, that's my only TikTok, Instagram account. So GU's doing a nice retest right here. It's doing a nice retest right here. I like this right here. But I'll wait for the next 15, though. We got about a minute and some change. And I'm about to see if gold is going to push back up. So we got a few potential setups, right? We had to wait a little bit, but we got a few potential setups. About to see if we can close here. The perfect scenario, we could close below, so we can look for the retest the next 15 and 5 minute on NAS100. We got a retest going on with GU, so we could hop in this the next 15, depending on how it reacts. And then we got possible gold buys also. Let's see what this next 5 and 15 looks like. Just got in. What's up with gold? We're looking at possible buy setup. About to see if we can hold this level of support. How you feeling though? How you feeling? We're waiting for the BCR. Waiting for the BCR. Break, close, retest. Break, close, retest. Alright, so we got the break. We want to see what we can close. And if we can close the next 15, we're going to look for the retest and possible entry. We got the break, close. We got the retest on GU. So we're going to look for the next 15, next 5, look for a buy setup on GU if it can hold. And we're looking for a retest on gold. New 15, new 5 minute about to pop up in about 15 seconds. We might get some action, y'all. Had to wait a little bit, but we might get some action now. As long as this thing don't take off, we might get some action. Let's see if it can hold, because again, we had some big pushes take place last week and yesterday and last night. Well, not yesterday. Well, yeah, yesterday and Sunday night, last night as well. But I like this. So we're holding some other supports. We might jump in this in a second. Let me see what these other charts looking like. Let's see if gold will push back up above this level. NAS100 still not turning this into resistance yet. Still a support level. So we gotta wait for NAS100. Yeah, we're gonna jump in this right here. We're gonna jump in this right here. I like gold too. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When looking at your charts, drop in the chat. But you already know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting. Just chilling, patiently waiting. Yeah, but I feel like I'm gonna be a lot more awake during New York session as well. Because like I said, London session, I literally just roll the fuck out of bed. I ain't gonna cap. Just be rolling out of bed. That's why I be sounding like tired as hell. Because I literally just rolled out of bed like 30 minutes ago. Well, not 30 minutes ago, but 30 minutes before like London opened. Alright, we're in this right here. You already know if you want to know the entry SL's TPs, you know what to do. Join the advanced play signal room. And let's take a look at gold. So again, if gold can maintain this level of support, we're going to be looking for buys here as well. NAS100, again, we did not BCR, so we're not taking the setup. But we're in this right here. We might take gold as well, but right now we're just in this right here. Let's see if we can make some motherfucking money, y'all. Let's see if we can make some motherfucking money. Speaking of Bitcoin new, if you're in the group chat, Raz just made a bag on Bitcoin yesterday. Wait, you said something. What happened at 11 on 2 p.m. What happened 2 p.m. yesterday? Wait, I'm tripping. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. What happened 2 p.m.? I'm reading the group chat for those that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Something happened at 2 p.m. yesterday. Nothing really dropped that hard. Alright, we just hit TP1. We just hit TP1. Let's see if we can keep on pushing though. Alright, y'all, my bad. Let me fix these damn TPs, bro. I got big ass fingers. Alright. Gamers, you know what they call that. They call it when you press the wrong shit, they call it a fat finger. Alright. Let me fix the TPs or the fat finger when I was typing. But at least I caught it now. Last time I didn't catch that shit till after the fact. At least I caught it before it got out of hand. At least I caught it before it got out of hand. Let's see if we can keep on pushing though. It is rejecting a little bit. But we're still looking for buys regardless. Like even the trade we took yesterday on GJ, that thing hit TP4 twice. And then that thing ended up doing the full move yesterday. Or last night I should say. Then London session, that thing just exploded. Let's see if we can maintain this level. Gold still kind of chilling right here as well. NAS100 still chilling. So we're still looking for sells on NAS. Sells is still the game point on NAS, but if it's going to do a repeat of yesterday, it's probably not going to kick off to New York session the way it's looking right now. It might try to sneak off and do something at 6 a.m., but it's probably going to be chilling to New York session if it doesn't do anything within this next hour. That's going to be my guess. Excuse me, gold still holding this level of support. So let's see if G can keep on pushing. Let's see if G can keep on pushing. I'm about to catch it to the chat in a second. gold's holding. Let's see if GU keep on pushing. The BCR is break, close, retest. Break, close, retest. So the break, close is one candle. The retest is another candle. So this was the break and close. This was the retest. Right? Let me try to find another example. This was the break and close yesterday on gold. These were the retests. You see what I mean? So again, a lot of these people are like, oh, fake out, manipulation. No, that's not what's happening, right? It's you literally buying off resistance levels and selling off support. You see how price broke and closed, then retested, and now price magically decided to take off. It's because we can see here price turned to resistance to support. You see what I mean? Just like right here. Oh, fake out sellers, fake out. Break, close, retest, pushed up. All right, same thing here. Fake out. Trump doesn't like me. Break, close, retest, and now price is magically taking off, right? So the break close is one candle. The retest is the next candle that retest. You see what I mean? I got a video going over this. So if you go to the day trade test playlist, let me see if I can find it. But I got some videos talking about this. And also in the playbook, when I go over the rules of the uptrend, rules of the downtrend, it's talking about the BCR as well. I just don't call it BCR in there. But it talks about that in the playbook as well. Yeah, so I talk about it in that video. The video just dropped to talk about in that video. So gold is pushing. I like that. Let's see if GU can do the same thing. Oh, gold just took off. GU's pushing as well. Gold's doing this thing. GU's doing this thing. Let's see if we can hit TP2 on GU though. You know, and I tell you, the trolls never make it to London session lives. You know, they be all on TikTok during the TikTok lives reporting my page. Oh, this is bullshit. You're a liar. You're a scammer. But then they're never in the YouTube lives. They're never in the YouTube lives, y'all, because this is when shit get real. We just hit TP2 on this bitch. I'm telling you, they always be in the lies in the comment section talking, oh, this is bullshit, blah, 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 blah. But then when shit's getting real, they're never in the YouTube lives, right? They're never in the YouTube lives. Shit crazy. Currently at 1 to 2, so we can keep on pushing. You said US30 took off? Not the direction I want. I don't go for reversals. So this is your first time in here. I don't go for reversals. I don't breakout trade. I don't target liquidity. I don't wait for FEGs to LMNOP. I don't go for untested highs and lows. I don't do none of that shit. All I do is go with the floor price. So if you're making money, that's cool. But that's also why I told you earlier I'm not looking at US30. I literally only go for A plus, sometimes B setups. Alright, so make sure to check out the trade breakdown playlist on YouTube. But yeah, I don't go for reversals. Now, if I would have went for a sell here, that would have been nice. Because look how price tapped my next level above and then it's rejected. That would have been nice for a sell setup. But like I said, I don't go for reversals and shit like that. Nobody should close this trade red though. Nobody should close this trade red. Nobody should close this trade red. Same thing if you took the gold buy. Nobody should close this GU setup or this gold setup red. Alright, we ain't wait this long just to be in profit and throw this shit away. Especially don't know the entry SLs and TPs. Like I always say, don't let a winner turn to a loser. Nasty push right there. New 15 about to pop up in about a minute and a half. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah, we got some retracements taking place on a few other charts. Sells, sell, 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 sells. Come on, you be in these lives. I'm gonna be a little bit harder on you because you be in these lives. Come on, I know you see these sell setups right here. Come on, come on, come on. And you've been watching my lives for minutes, so I was gonna be a little bit harder on you. But it is Tuesday. All right, so everybody watching, everybody, if you have not already, click the link in the description. Join the free sitting room, free Telegram. Right when you click the link, this is going to pop up. All right, once it loads. Okay, I got a lot of fucking tabs open. Alright, my computer gets shy sometimes. Alright, there we go. Click the second link, join the free room. Alright. Every beginning of the week, I drop the Sunday chart analysis. So everybody in here should be watching this. I don't care if it's Wednesday, you join Thursday, watch the Sunday chart analysis. Alright. Because nothing's really changed so far. Also for the New York price watcher, sales is still the game plan. Sales is still the game plan on NAS100 NQ. Alright. So make sure to check that out. And for those that talk about, want to see some student results testimonials, literally when you click the link, there's 369 right here. All right. Not only that, but if you go to the Instagram right here or right here, there's 2 different highlights of 3-4 years worth of receipts of student results and testimonials. So the first one says student wins. There's another one that says testimonials. There's even another one that says mentorships. And you'll see results and receipts literally dated 2022. So you'll literally see student results and testimonials literally since 2022. Also, if you click the free room, you go to where it says subscribers, over 2,000 photos, 4 years worth of receipts of screenshots, positions, student results, testimonials, all of that good shit. Okay? So for those that are like, okay, yeah, this makes sense, but how do I know people actually make money from doing what you do and teaching what you teach? There's receipts all over the fucking place. All right, there's receipts all over the place. But yeah, so let's see how this next 15 plays out. So we got a quick move. We're back floating right below TP1, but we're still looking for buys on these. Again, as far as news today, we do have an orange holder, but besides that, we ain't really got shit going on. Unless something just happens out of nowhere. So like always, we're just simply waiting for volume and our confirmations to be met. But yeah, we're looking for buys on everything but NAS100. NAS100 is the only thing I'm looking at today that I'm looking for sells on. GJGU 6B, and gold. We're looking for buys. We're looking for buys. We're looking for buys. But again, this is why we do not breakout trade. Look, there's when people keep on talking about fake outs and all this other shit, but again, it's simply because you're trying to rush this setup and you're not waiting for a price to show you that it's ready to do that next move, right? Once you understand price is not randomly doing things, you have to then start to wait and see what price is showing you is trying to do, or look at what price is currently showing you is doing. All right, price is always going to give you hints and clues on what's going on. You just got to know what you're looking at and what you're looking for. Just got to know what you're looking at, what you're looking for. Does that mean we should trail our stop? That's why you got to have a trading plan. Whether that's trail your stop, partials, close the trade, whatever the case may be. Whatever your trading plan says. You should have in your trading plan how you go about holding your trades, whether you hold the SLRTP gets hit. You should know in your trading plan or having your trading plan certain scenarios where you would not hold to the final TP gets hit, where you close early, move SL on profit, whatever the case may be. The reason why so many people struggle long-term trading is because they don't have these things in their game plan. They might have, again, that's why I tell you, strategy is not enough. That's why all these people on the internet talking about strategy, doing back test, forward test, all this other shit. That's why a lot of people struggle. And again, when people say, oh, strategy is the easiest part to learn, the psychology is the hard part. Again, trading psychology is discipline, habits, routine. Discipline, habits, routine. And the trading plan kind of goes hand in hand with that as well. Right? Every scenario, every situation I have in my game plan, what I am going to do, what I'm not going to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's what you have to figure out. Because some people are okay with getting whipped out early and seeing price take off without them hitting the final TP. Some people are not okay with that. Some people are okay with holding the SLTP gets hit and they're up a little bit if their SL gets hit because they didn't hit the final TP. Some people are okay with that. Some people are not. Right? So you got to figure out what type of trader you are and what you're comfortable with doing and not doing. You see what I mean? A lot of people try to figure that out while trading live, but these are things you should be figuring out while you're practicing on a demo account as well. We're going to be on for a little bit longer, y'all. We're going to be on for a little bit longer. Shout out to those that like the live and subscribe. If you ain't like the live or subscribe, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. If you got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. But pretty smooth live. Pretty smooth live. Pretty smooth live. Why do you think US30 is doing a reversal retracement? For me, I think it finished the retracement. So that's another thing, right? And don't take this the wrong way because it's not your fault. That's what the internet does. The internet's got y'all worried about shit that don't really matter. You know what I mean? Like for example, if it's hot outside and I need to cool off, I'm gonna have something cold or have some ice in it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna think about why when I'm sweating and dehydrated, why is this ice cooling me off right now? You know what I'm saying? I just know that if I'm sweating and dehydrated and it's hot as fuck outside, I'm gonna get me a cold drink. You see what I mean? It's the same thing with trading, right? Sometimes too much information is too much information, or thinking too much is what fucks up. Because that's how all these patterns and candlesticks and theories came about. It's the overthinking, right? So it's very simple, right? It's very simple. And I talk about this in the playbook and during the TikTok lives all the time, right? There's 3 cycles. We got the uptrend, we got the downtrend, right? And then we got consolidation, okay? So the goal of trading is to do what? Make money. How do you make money? You make money by buying or selling, right? But not just by buying or selling, but buying and price goes up, selling and price goes down. So then you have to ask yourself, in what cycle is price doing the most of what? Because price is always going up and going down. You see what I mean? And I got videos going over this and talking about this in the future, but everybody wants to talk about all these statistics like 99% failure rate, this, that, and the third, but they don't talk about the most important statistic, which is in an uptrend, what is price doing most of the time? In a downtrend, what is price doing most of the time? You see what I'm saying? So the reason why I don't go for reversals and all this other shit is because I only want to go for, again, high probability, high quality setups, right? If I'm in an uptrend and I only buy in an uptrend, if we're going up more than we're going down by math and statistics and probability, I'm going to win way more than I lose by simply buying an uptrend. If we're in a downtrend, I only go for sales. I'm going to, by math and statistics and probability, win more than I lose only selling in a downtrend. You see what I mean? Where things get iffy is where when price is not continuing the downtrend, uptrend, when we see a reversal or break a structure, change of character, all this other shit you hear on the internet. This is what throws people off. When price reverses, you do not know if that reversal is going to lead to the trend changing or not, right? Just like when price breaks a level. When price breaks a level, you don't know if price is going to continue to go that direction or not. That's why a lot of people get faked out. So what I tell y'all to do is to wait. Don't guess. Don't try to beat price to it. Wait. Now, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for price, like I said earlier, to show us what it's doing or trying to do. So instead of selling off a reversal or buying off a reversal, let's wait for the uptrend to then come into play or for the downtrend to continue, right? Let's wait for the downtrend to come into play or for the uptrend to continue, right? So when we look at US30, we're not in an uptrend yet. Now, could price shoot up and explode? Absolutely. There's always exceptions to the rule. There's always exceptions to the rule, right? Just like they say, wear a seatbelt. Yes, you could not wear a seatbelt and go from point A to point B safely. But when that one time occurs where an accident happens, I'm not putting that on nobody, but when that accident happens and you go Superman out the windshield, you're not going to be thinking about, oh, well, all the other times I didn't wear a seatbelt, I was fine. No, you're going to be thinking, damn, if I would have prepared for the worst, hope for the best, right? I would not be in that situation. It's the same thing with trading, right? The reason why people review their trades and don't understand what's working, what's not working, why they talk about buyers, sellers, and fake outs, is because they're literally, like I say all the time, chasing price instead of following the flow of price. You see what I mean? Because we see it all the time. Reversals don't automatically mean the trend's going to change, right? It could be the first sign, but it doesn't automatically mean it. So again, I only want to buy if we're in an uptrend. I only want to sell if I'm in a downtrend. So a reversal, we're still technically, what do we reverse out? We reversed out the downtrend, but we're not technically in an uptrend yet, because the uptrend makes what? Higher highs, higher lows. The downtrend makes what? Lower lows, lower highs, right? So this is why the playbook is so important, because the playbook lets us know, one, the first signs of trend possibly change, but also shows us when the trend is going to change. You see what I mean? So let me put the playbook out really quick. So like I said, even if US30 shoots up today, I don't really give a fuck. Why? Because I rather miss that push versus go for a buy in a downtrend and price tank on me, and then now I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck, sellers, right? I mean, just look at NAS100 yesterday, right? Let's just look at NAS100 yesterday. All right, so GJ just tapped this level, so if GJ can maintain 217.30 as support, we can look for buys, right? So we're either gonna look to see if we can maintain this level of support, or we're gonna look for a retest at 217.10. All right, but let's pull up NAS100 yesterday. All right, let's pull up good old NAS100 yesterday, right? Right. So, what the hell's going on here? Hold on. I don't know what the fuck going on here. Okay. So, NAS100 yesterday. Look what happened. 930 push, right? So yesterday, you watched the Sunday chart analysis. NAS100 was above this level, right? So what would happen if you were to try to beat price to the trend changing and try to go for buys versus before the uptrend actually came into play? Right, here goes the fake out. You see what I mean? Just like breakout trading. Breakout trading is trying to beat price to it. Before, hold on 1 second. Breakout trading is trying to beat price to it before it shows you that's turning a level from resistance, right? So to eliminate majority of the fake outs and losses, that's why I only go for buys and uptrend and a clean clear uptrend, sells and clean clear downtrend, right? And that's how we're able to consistently average 80 to 90% win rate, because I don't just try to go for any and every setup. I don't try to catch every pip every point. Now I'm very, very, very picky with my setups, right? I'm very, very, very picky with my setups. I don't just try to go for every push up or down. Now I'm just like, okay, I strictly want to go for only the cleanest setups that will give me the highest likelihood of winning. You see what I mean? And that's just how I go about it. That's just how I go about it personally. Like I said, if you make money doing what you're doing, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm just explaining what I do personally and what helps a lot of my members and students make money and avoid losing money and blowing accounts. But that's just what I do personally. You know what I mean? So like I said, if you're making money, do what you're doing. Do not have me stop what you got going on. All right, but that's why I do what I do. But let me pull out the playbook really quick. All right, so before I play the playbook, that's why in Playmaker University yesterday, again, with NAS100, you can see the photo right here. Even though we broke the level, why I still say we're looking for sales, because again, we're in a downtrend still. I'm not going to go for buys until we're in a clean clear uptrend. And we know what happened off the 930 open. I think it takes to the downside. So I bet you a bunch of people try to buy NAS100 off the 930 open, and then this is what they say, the sellers, or they're going to find a Twitter post to justify why price do what it did. But again, it's just all market structure. You know what I mean? But let me pull out the playbook really quick. If you got any questions, drop in the chat. I got y'all. Let me pull out the playbook. All right, the good old playbook. Let me go to the rules of the downtrend really quick. All right, boom. So like it says right here, the only way the uptrend will come into play is if what? Price breaks past the lower high, or breaks past the lower high and turn the previous resistance level into a support, like how the green arrow shows. Now, why is it supported? Because this is the first signs of price attempting to make what an uptrend consists of, which is what? Higher highs, higher lows. You see what I mean? So this is the lower high, this is the lower low. All right, this is the lower high right here. Now, again, this is not how I mark off my key price levels, which is why I make them red. Okay, this is simply just marking off the lower high and the lower low. Again, this is me just simply marking off the lower high and the lower low. All right. So let me pull this out right here. Boom. We have the lower high, lower low, right? So then we enter bar replay. We can literally see how we're just breaking past it. So until we, again, BCR, break close, then retest on the daily, we're not in an uptrend yet. So until we do this, we're not in an uptrend, right? Until we do this, we're not in an uptrend. And there's been plenty of situations where following these rules has saved us some bread. I mean, it does this every fucking week, right? But as far as recent examples, like we had a good example, when was it? It was like the other day. I can't remember what chart. No, it wasn't this. It was gold. I'm tripping. It was gold. Right? We literally had this happen last month on gold, right? We was in a downtrend right here. Right? This was June 11th, June 12th. If you're in the free room, link in the description, if you're in the free room, remember, Sunday night. So let's go to June. We're in May. Let's go to June. Hold on a second. Try to make this quicker. July. Hold on. Okay, so June. Alright, so this was Friday, June 12th. Okay. With 7-0 that week, right? But besides that, so that's why this week I said we was looking for gold sales still, because even though we see a push up, we did not break past the lower high and the lower low, right? This is the lower high right here. This is the lower low right here, right? So then also what took place, right? We had a big reversal take place, but look what happened. Price broke, but rejected back down below. Price stayed right here, and look what happened. Price shot to the downside. So what would happen this week if we would have tried to beat price to it and we went for buys? Here comes the fake out, the quote sellers taking over. You see what I mean? So to avoid that, again, my goal is to win more than I lose. And like we talked about, just simple math and statistics, you're going to win more than you lose by only going for buys in the uptrend, only go for sales in the downtrend. So unless we're making clear higher highs, higher lows, that's not an uptrend. I'm not going for buys yet. You see what I mean? And there's always exceptions to the rules, but going for the exceptions is what fucks people up. You know what I mean? So that's why, again, it's about probability, right? There's always exceptions to the rules, but the reason why it's the rule is because the rule is based on what's most likely going to take place. You see what I mean? So whether you know it or not, going for the exception is you going based off the lower probability. You see what I mean? Right? It's just like if I have a cast iron skillet, if I grab that motherfucker when it's hot, there's a high likelihood that I'm gonna burn my hand without using a mitt to grab the cast iron. You know what I mean? Because they don't got that insulated handle. It's all metal. You know what I mean? But there is a slight chance that I grab that and I won't burn my hand. Now, are you going to take that risk because there's an exception to the rule, or are you going to be like, no, based on the probability, if I touch this cast iron skillet with my bare hand, I'm most likely going to burn my hand, so I'm probably not going to touch it. You see what I'm saying? Or are you going to be like, oh, well, there's a 2% chance that I won't burn my hand, so fuck what's most likely going to happen. I'm going to just do, you know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of people get fucked up, right? Or this is what happens as well. This is why it's important to review your trades, because this happens a lot. I've been noticing this a lot when I do one-on-one sessions, right? So let's say you follow your rules, you know what I mean? And you say, oh, I'm not going to breakout trade. But then this happens. Well, damn it, my rules were I'm not going to breakout trade, but because the exception to the rule happened, now fuck my rules and now I'm a breakout trade. Oh, here comes a fake out. Up, here comes a fake out. Up, here comes a fake out. Up, here comes a fake out. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you have to look at, okay, yes, this didn't retest, but still took off. But what happened most of the times before this took place? What happens most of the time? You see what I mean? That's just how I look at it, at least, though. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me cut you to the chat, but hopefully that makes sense. But that's just how I look at it. So let me pull these charts back up and see what we got going on. Let me pull up GJ as well, see what GJ's got going on. Because I know when I start to teach and cook, that's when the charts like to try to do some shit. So let me see what GJ's talking about. We're gonna be on for a little bit longer. Y'all, I'm about to cut you to the chat right now. If you got any questions, drop in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop in the chat. So GJ's doing a nice retest right here. GJ's doing a nice retest right here. So again, it took a little bit of an hour for price to come to us, but now we got a lot of possible setups what to take off and take place. Gold's kind of chilling. GU's pushing though. And then GJ's doing the retest right here. Let me see what we got in the chat. Am I still in the GBP trade? Yeah.
Granger knows that an HVAC technician, the heat is on.
Hold on, y'all, because we don't care about that ad. Hold on one second. Alright, bet. Yeah, but GU's still pushing right here. Doing a nice push right here. Goals retesting the level. That's a nice push right here, yo. Again, starting next week, I'm gonna announce it in the free room later on, but again, starting next week, we're going to be doing New York session trading with the members. The playbacks will be available for everybody else, but when it's on and popping in real time, it's only going to be members only. But a cool, smooth start to the day. Cool, smooth start to the day right here. You said what broker I use for Forex? Tasty FX. Tasty FX. Shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody's been alive since the beginning. Shout out to everybody's been alive since y'all joined. Y'all already know what to do. If you want to know the entry SOs and TPs or learning from me directly, hit the links in the description. Become a playmaker today. Got some new posts lined up for y'all on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. And we're going to be live later on TikTok today as well. We're going to be live later on TikTok today as well. But yeah, that thing's going crazy. So I'm about to make me some tea and take me a nap before New York session. Peace, we out. Peace, we out.